Hello and welcome back, everyone, to yet another episode of the podcast of Solitude. I'm
Hello,
Sam,
everyone.
as always, joined by Colm and Jordan.
Hey, we're here.
We're here too. All three
They
of
are.
us. Yeah.
Wonderful. This episode, we're going to be talking about the latest Falcon and Winter Soldier episode, and then maybe some other small bits at the end. We'll have to see how it goes. Jordan might give us another update on whatever show he's been watching.
Mm-hmm.
I
I've
generally
started
forgot the name.
watching Invincible. I've started watching that show too, Jordan. From 2 episodes
Yes. Oh, you're doing
in. 2
nice.
episodes in. It's
Uh-huh.
it is very good.
Yeah, just save it for the end, Colm. Gosh.
We'll save it for the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
I'd love to talk spoilers every week, but someone is waiting until they're all out so we can binge them.
Well, you see, I don't have Amazon Prime,
That's
so I'm
true.
waiting they're all out, so I can just do a month.
That's fair.
Then I
That's
can
fair.
watch
I get the student reduced rate.
Good for some.
It's pretty hard to talk about it without spoiling, to be quite honest, especially after the
really
first
is.
episode. It
If
really
you want,
is.
I can leave.
No, we're not doing that.
No, we're not doing that, Sam.
Even though you can deafen the mics, but no, we'll not do that.
Oh, I could.
No, I think after this 5th episode, though, I think maybe the way to watch it might be to binge it. Truth be told. But anyways, we'll get to
I'm
it.
also not really in the mood to do the one episode per week. I've already got enough shows with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's no
Yeah.
good.
Sorry.
What are your other one show per week shows, Sam? I have curiosity. Other than Falcon Winter Soldier.
Well, you just took away one, so that's not good.
Yep, the one we're talking about.
Well, we're not though, are we? We're talking about other.
Yet.
No, I've been. Well, there's Riverdale, but then that's on hold now.
Okay.
Till like June.
Yeah.
I think that's it actually. There was something else, but then that also stopped. So technically, I would have a slot open now. But what
We're
happened?
friends. Since we're friends, Sam, I need you to clarify that you don't actually think Riverdale is good.
It's not.
So anyway, Falcon the Soldier.
Sam.
This guy.
Okay, it's not good, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll allow
I can,
it.
Does
I can
that
accept
count?
that. I can accept that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the,
Yeah.
the
I
acting
think-
is terrible, the writing's terrible, but I have a blast every episode.
Yeah. No,
That's actually fair.
That's
feel like
what I
that's-
wanted to hear.
I
Yeah.
feel like everyone, like majority of Riverdale watchers, say that. So
Don't be so sure. There are so many fanatics when it comes to that show
Okay.
that think it's the
Okay.
best thing ever. I've encountered some of them on the interwebs. Do not recommend.
net.
oh. Okay, well, say my little sister's like that, but whenever I tell her, yeah, the acting's terrible, then she says, yeah, I know, but it's so good. So
It's a guilty pleasure. Watch.
it is.
My sister like really enjoys a lot of stuff that I just drill into the ground that I just hate. Or like anytime I criticize any movie that she likes, she's like, your standards are too high. And I'm like, yeah, this entertainment I'm paying for, I want it to be good. That's so much to ask. You know, this thing that I'm spending my limited resources on, like, great, but we all had a fun time, and well, they tried their best. No, it has to be good.
They try their best. Oh. That makes it all okay.
Yeah.
Well,
She
see,
doesn't.
I don't have a
Okay.
sister I can blame for this.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, I'm blaming a different personality.
Yeah. Sam is like,
Yeah.
all siblings in one. Sam's like the everyone package.
Yeah. Yep. Correct.
Huh.
Yeah.
And one of these personalities enjoys watching Riverdale and watched the entire first season of Bridgerton. I blacked
Would
out for
you-
most of it
Do that to yourself.
because I blacked out for most of it, so I don't remember Jordan.
I tried
That's-
watching it, but I couldn't. So
No, yeah, don't.
yeah.
Don't. I do not recommend it. But I will watch the second season when it comes out.
Oh dear. I feel like we could definitely do a lot of talking about Netflix shows in the past year, especially. I've been a lot of
Yeah.
golden gems.
I mean, there was
Um,
nothing else to do last year, so there was a lot of watching. So
That's also a good point. I think me and Sam and Jordan we'll all say Cobra Kai is very good, and
Yes.
me and Sam will say Queen's Gambit is very good. I don't know if Jordan's watched it or not, but
No, I have to get to it.
Jordan should.
it's incredible. It's so
It's
good.
very, very
I'll get
yeah.
to it.
We could definitely do episodes where, because there's going to be a little bit of a dry spot coming up when Falcon Winter Soldier's done, and until Loki starts.
Yeah, I mean, it might
So-
just be kind of thing where we just say that we're bored and then just hop into recording a podcast and just talk about whatever is on our mind. And hopefully
Yeah.
everyone likes to listen to it.
Of course, why wouldn't they?
I mean,
We are.
it won't be that much of a dry spot when we all pay €30 to see Black Widow, the movie.
I'm not doing that.
No, why would you?
I'm just going to wait the 4 months or whatever until it's for free.
I don't
Like
know
what
if I'm going to watch it.
Lan. I'm going to watch it, but
Definitely watch it, yeah. But
I can't watch the Snyder Cut even though I don't want to, and then not go and watch Black Widow.
yeah.
Yeah, but at least all the characters in the Snyder Cut haven't been dead for 3 movies. I'm just,
The silence.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a gotcha, but I think all right.
Like I'm just sitting here like she dies at the end. We know.
Spoilers.
Insert joke that Jordan has been hyping up for the past few weeks.
Or like Walmart Captain America, am I right?
He said it. He said the thing.
He said it. Oh.
How long have we been recording for? We haven't started talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, because we think of other stuff to say. We need to engage people first. They're all here for Winter Soldier, but we need to get like stuff out of the way so that they stay for Winter Soldier.
Exactly.
I guess that's the okay.
It's clickbait, man. Come on.
Yeah. Clickbait. We gotta get it to 10 minutes so that we get ad revenue on YouTube or whatever.
And now a message from our sponsors.
Raid Shadow Legends. Hey, Raid is one of the sponsors. We're open.
You joke. I took money from Raid Shadow Legends. I don't care.
I'll take money from whatever. Hair loss products for men. Come at me. Like, yeah.
We've all got like full head of hair, but we'll do it.
Well, I haven't seen either of these two people in well over a year, so that could not be true.
How long is your wait? Okay, question: have either of you got a haircut and like over lockdown at all?
Oh yeah, yeah. My parents got my hair.
Yeah, by a parent, same.
Okay.
I've been to a hairdresser or a barber like all of once. Wasn't so happy, and then I was like, "Nah, mom, you can just keep cutting my hair." And I was 8 at the time, and I just haven't changed my mind.
I've never been to a barber just because I always thought, why would I pay money for something I could just get done for free at home?
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy a haircut kit, like a real barber haircut kit.
Go for it.
Just cut my hair.
Yeah. A lot of people just learn to do it themselves.
That's what my brother's been doing, like ever since first lockdown, and he's so good at it now. Like he's made so many friends for it. Cause he's at uni in Scotland, and like he's just like notoriously known as like the haircut guy. So he's just made friends with like people in his student village, just like showing up to his door and saying, "Yo, can you cut my hair?"
Are you the haircut guy?
Yeah. they literally have an Instagram page where they just like post just basically shit post like barbering stuff. It's hilarious.
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I feel like we should talk about Falcon Winter Soldier now anyway.
Yeah, I think we got enough filler out of the way.
Yeah, let's get stuck in.
Okay. Any non-spoilery subjects we want to talk about? Because I can't really think of any.
This show is still getting better week on week, in my opinion.
100%.
Yeah, like definitely.
Yeah.
It's
they're giving all the actors a lot more to do each episode.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, they are. I have a really good spoiler point. Is Marvel at this stage, I just feel are so like they're so good at their world building, but also it's like watching some of the earlier Marvel films, or honestly like pretty much everything up until this point, and also WandaVision, is that you always see heroes and villains basically, whereas now there's a lot more gray area. and you see things from like other sides, which is like really really cool. And it's also like it's more. There's a lot of like real world situations. I feel like even though it's like super soldiers and stuff, it's like it's still real world, like political aspects and just grey areas. Like I said, it's quite interesting. Also you can kind of see I feel like a lot of scenes and a lot of dialogue and everything. It's really cool. The fact that it's also a TV show, like it's quite comic book like in a way. Like you can imagine seeing stuff in comic book panels, whereas I feel like with a lot of Marvel movies originally, or like the past 5 years or so, they've always been trying to make it like the next big thing, the next big blockbuster kind, like massive fight scenes and everything, which means that all the scenes, even the ones that are kind of less action packed, they're still trying to make quite like they're trying to hype it up and have like a big suspenseful moments and everything. Whereas there's a kind of a lot more downtime in TV shows, and it kind of gives you time to understand the characters and stuff. You get a lot of character development that way, which I think is quite cool. I think the TV shows enable a lot of like flexibility in building the universe further. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It really, I mean, I think I am just enjoying at this stage. I think they've paced it really well.
Pacing was very good, yeah.
They've planned it out in such a way that makes sense, because you come out of the last thing I really remember is Endgame. I know we've seen Spider-Man since then, but the last movie
same
in this series, that I think it's on everybody's minds, is Endgame.
Yeah,
and I think that WandaVision was like a good slow return to the universe, where they just gave us wacky antics for 4 weeks.
I agree. Yeah.
And then it was like, oh no, we're still in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel like this full
you're just grounding it all.
Yeah, you just ground it all. It's a return to form. It's very Winter Soldier. It's very Civil War.
It is, yeah.
But with characters that haven't got as much of a spotlight as they could have.
Yep.
Like Sam Wilson's great and Bucky Barnes is great, and obviously there's a reason that they haven't been main runners. But it's spectacular that they're getting.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And also, it's and it isn't like you're watching these characters and you're thinking, oh, they're side characters. Like I've never really been. It's not like they're Cap or Iron Man or anything. You really do care about them, and you're watching it thinking, yeah, I'm so glad these guys are finally getting spotlights, because they are really interesting characters with like a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I also agree with like what you said about like returning to the universe and everything. I think the tone is really really good, because Endgame, like it isn't like they brushed off. Like Endgame was a massive event. People disappeared for 5 years, and then they all came back at the end of Endgame, and they could have so easily just kind of brushed that off in the universe and said, yeah, like things are going to be kind of more resolved now. It's been some like time has passed since Endgame. Like they haven't done that. They've made it so like they've really shown how the events of Endgame and the blip and everything, like how it's impacted everyone in the universe. Like not even characters that we know, but like common people and stuff. It's just
really,
yeah.
Sorry, I was just gonna say they really glossed over it in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
They really did.
Or
yeah.
Not Homecoming, the other one. Far
From Home. Yeah, no, they did.
Yeah, but it's good now. You see, like the Flag Smashers, they have a very interesting.
It's really interesting. Yeah.
Kind of viewpoint, and I mean, I don't think there's anybody that's like, oh, this isn't really a flawed perspective, but they make an effort this episode to be like, oh no, this is where these people are coming from.
Yeah.
You do see that.
You can link it. Yeah, you can link it to so many current world conflicts, and how you would say, yeah, these people have good ideas that need to be addressed, but they're going about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's just such a common perception of the way people view things.
Yeah.
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 John, No, Sam, go.
I was gonna say I don't really have a whole lot of spoiler-free stuff to talk about, so I'm just kind of staying quiet and letting you talk here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
we're gonna say about What are we gonna say about John Walker, Jordan?
I was gonna say they do the whole turn with him this week, and they try to make him as unlikable as possible.
This episode is
Yeah.
a John Walker episode, full stop.
Yeah,
Like, this is where we see John Walker as people have thought we might see him. Not to get into spoilers, but
I
yeah.
think that's fair.
I wouldn't really call it a John Walker episode, though. I don't think there was enough to call it that. Enough of
I
him.
would call it just because we get to see what kind of character he is, whereas the previous 3 episodes we've been like, oh, like he seems like he seems like he has potential. Oh, is he like a douchebag? Is he actually like patriarchal? Like, what's going on here? Here we kind of get to see the way he's approaching missions a lot more, and the way he
I would have liked to
carries
see
out his
more of that.
tasks.
Like, I
Yeah,
would
We
have,
will.
if we had gotten that, the whole perspective, like him trying to find Bucky, Sam, and
Yeah.
Zemo when they broke him
Yeah.
out in the previous episode. Like, if we had just seen like the first 10 minutes maybe of just from his perspective, John Walker's perspective, trying to find him, I think that could have been really nice.
Yeah,
I
I
would-
think so too.
I'd like to have seen that.
I think we can go to spoilers in like a second, but
we
before we
can,
do, he kind of just shows up in this episode.
Yeah.
And
He definitely does.
they're in what, Latvia, and he just walks up and he's like, "Hey,"
Yeah.
Yeah,
as
I was
a
like,
third
yeah.
round corner.
I think there's a lot of we'll definitely touch on spoilers soon, but yeah, I feel like what happened whenever he showed up is kind of there's a lot of like kind of conflict of character, I think, in this episode of like different characters. Like sometimes people do things and you think, is that how their character would do the thing, or like yeah, like again I'll definitely touch on this more in spoiler stuff, but also Zemo is so very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a good
This
character.
could have been a Zemo show.
Yeah,
I
I've
have
heard people say that. Yeah.
I have a theory that I completely stole from someone on Reddit, but I think
Yeah.
I thought it made sense. So I was like, I'll bring this up, which is this person was saying that they think because they made Zemo a lot more likable in this than in Civil War.
Oh yeah.
You know, like he's very charismatic. There's the whole him dancing in the previous episode, and then Marvel made a freaking 2-hour long loop of that and put it on YouTube.
I saw that. Yeah.
But yeah, like, what if this is Disney like trying out to see how the audience responds to that, so that in the future they might have plans for like a Thunderbolts series with him as the main character or the leader.
A what series?
Thunderbolts?
Oh, I don't think
Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know much about that, to be honest. But
yeah, it's a fun thing you could do, and you could bring back a lot of villains.
Yeah,
there.
like it could also work really good as a show more than a movie.
Mm.
And I feel like after the success of WandaVision, Marvel's probably really thinking of, hey, what other TV shows can we do?
yeah, I definitely agree. I think just WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier, it really does show that Marvel TV shows can work, and they've tried it in the past. They've done Agents of Shield, which I think
Didn't really work.
Yeah, I think the concept behind Agents of Shield, like there was a lot of potential, but they just didn't have the right writing behind it and didn't get enough audience attention. And then they had all the Netflix ones like Daredevil and stuff, which worked very well. But
yeah, well, the thing is with Agents of Shield as well, they suffered from like budget there as well, because that wasn't
okay, yeah,
so.
I think that's the main issue. Yeah,
like the writing is as well, but you can connect those two. But like the thing with Agents of Shield was that wasn't Marvel or Disney doing that show. That was them collaborating with ABC, the network in the US.
Yeah,
and they did most of the stuff for it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah.
And then with the Netflix show, Netflix also did a lot because there was also a collaboration between them. Like it was a Netflix show using Marvel characters. So I think now that they have complete rights, and let's not forget they officially have all the rights to all of the characters from the Netflix shows now as well since December, I think.
Oh, that recent?
Yeah.
Oh, you're sorry. Yes. You're right. Yes. I remember now.
December or November, I think.
Around then, yeah.
But yeah, like
so you think
they have complete creative control now, and because they have their own streaming service, Disney Plus, they can just do whatever they want. And because
It's
it's
actually
Disney,
really exciting. Yeah.
you have pretty much an unlimited budget for these things. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it actually is like really cool, really exciting. Yeah, what do you think about that? Like, yeah, like I know we're kind of going off on tangents here, but like, what do you think about the Netflix characters? Do you think they'll completely redo all of that? Do you think they'll try to? Do you reckon they'll bring the actors back of the Netflix shows, or do they not have?
I hope they do.
Threats? Yeah, I hope they do too, especially Daredevil.
I think it's going to be a real, I think it's going to be a real picking and choosing sesh.
Yeah.
I think they're going to bring back Charlie Cox, but
well, he's been confirmed for Spider-Man.
He has.
3.
They've got him back in some capacity, but
Okay.
that could be a different character. They could be like, it's a different universe.
I think they said he's going to play a lawyer. I think that's all they announced about his roles, which is, I mean,
yeah. So everybody jumped the gun and was like, it's Daredevil, but he could just be some guy.
He could. I hope he doesn't, but he could.
No, I hope not. But I don't think they'll bring back John Bernthal's Punisher. I don't think they'll bring back Jessica Jones after the reception her last 2 seasons got. They've already. The last one was better than the second season, but anyways, we could do a whole episode on those. But no, I don't think they'll bring most of it back, which is a pity because it was just the whole Netflix thing was just starting to go in a very interesting direction.
Yeah, especially Luke Cage.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, especially the Luke Cage show, with how they ended the second season, was it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
I really do think in terms of movies that Doctor Strange 2 and Spider-Man 3 will be like huge pivotal points for this universe, just in terms of like opening the doors of the multiverse. And I think we'll be able to like see a lot more. We'll be able to address topics like this like a lot more. We'll have like a better idea of the direction they're going in terms of where all these characters lie. Those movies.
Yeah.
And and the direction the universe is going in.
Me and I know a lot of other people as well kind of hoped that was going to happen with WandaVision, but it didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, I feel like with WandaVision, it would have been more of Easter egg-ish things, which I kind of hoped Quicksilver would have been, like a multiverse thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. I feel like Doctor Strange 2 will be the main one for it. It'll be like the main.
I mean, the name of that movie is like the Multiverse of Madness, or
yeah,
like
no,
that.
yeah,
like,
no, 100%. It's gonna.
We're gonna see some multiverse stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think Spider-Man 3 will just kind of bounce off that, and since Spider-Man is such a big player in multiverse lore, it'll just all like tie together really well.
Spider-Man 3, or what was it called? Homeless or whatever.
Yeah.
That's coming out before Doctor Strange, isn't it? It's supposed to come out this December.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
So that might set up.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange more as well, which
I think you're right. Yeah, I think personally, I think Spider-Man 3 will see Spider-Man multiverse, which is just there's so much you can do with that, and then Doctor Strange will just take the tools from that and just like open up the doors to like everywhere else. Really.
Yeah.
Spider-Man will be like the key, and Doctor Strange will be like big room that you go into and you unlock it. But yeah.
No multiverse shenanigans though is episode 4 of Falcon Winter Soldier.
Whoa, are we talking about this now?
Yeah, I guess.
What a segue.
Sharp left turn back to what we're doing.
Yeah.
Do we just want to throw caution to the wind and just say, hey, spoilers from here on out?
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah, we had all the rambling on for a while. That's like a good breaking point between spoilers and spoiler-free and spoilers. Yeah.
If anyone hasn't seen the episode yet and they don't want to get spoiled, here's your warning: 3, 2, 1, go away. Cool.
John Walker kills himself in this episode. You've been spoiled.
Cap comes back.
He doesn't.
Yeah, Steve Rogers is young again.
Yeah.
And he's handsome, and he's got his body ready for a hot girl summer.
John Walker is Steve Rogers, but from the multiverse.
He
his name.
Battlestar.
That's right. There's multiverse in this episode.
Battlestar is actually Bucky. Yeah. No. All right. That's what do we like with this episode? My favorite scene in this whole episode was the scene where Falcon and Carly just have a conversation at the funeral.
Really good.
Yep.
That was. I don't like the trope of you've got X amount of time to finish this task, and then we're going to come in and just shoot whatever moves, because it never ends well. Has John Walker
like
never seen a movie? It happens in every movie, and it ruins everything.
Yeah.
But it was a good scene, even though I knew that was coming.
Yeah, a lot kind of happened in this episode. It's like I feel like the main focal point was Carly and everything, and the what do they call what do you call the Wakanda soldiers again? Let's just call them the Wakanda soldiers. the Wakanda soldiers was kind of more of a side plot, which was still good to see, but it was quite.
I mean, apart from
for
the beginning, they only came in at one other point for like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cool fight.
It was a cool fight.
Cool.
I feel like the main point of it was to get Zemo to do his own thing as well, because now he's away somewhere else.
He's free as a bird.
He's a bird.
Free as a man. Wanted all over the world.
But yeah, no, I agree with the Carla and Sam scene and everything. I think her character is really developing, and she's like really interesting and stuff. I think we keep mentioning this every week about her possibly being related to Red Skull. At this stage,
I keep
I'm
mentioning
thinking
it every week, but yeah.
yeah, and I think it is a good theory. But at this point, I'm now thinking, yeah, she's quite good as she is. I think just keep her as like her own character. No need to link her to anything. I mean,
I still think you can do it, but I agree that it's probably better if they don't.
Yeah, because I feel like her whole character setup is that she's just a good heart in a bad place. She's just been through a lot, and it could have happened to anyone really. She's kind of representing herself as a person to speak up out of like so many others that have been through the same thing as her. If you connect it to Red Skull, it's just kind of like, yeah, her family were assholes.
Yeah. Which, I mean, at the same time, you're not who your ancestors were or anything. But
yeah, no, that's yeah.
I think it would just be an unnecessary spanner in the works to be like, her granddad was a Nazi, and that's what are the odds? All right, what are the odds that the leader of this terrorist group in 2021, the modern day Captain America and Captain America's two pals are dealing with, is the granddaughter of a Nazi that got blasted into space?
Yeah.
It's the Marvel universe, so it's very high.
It's the most likely thing to
that's true, Sam.
when you put it that way, actually.
Let's not forget, in the comics, this stuff happens all the time.
Yeah, no, I know that, but it's just
yeah,
unnecessary.
Literally what you said. What are the chances of a Nazi World War II leader being blasted out into space and guarding this like one stone for how many years by himself?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah, I like the direction your character's going in, and the grey areas of where they stand, and how Sam and Bucky are kind of the people in the middle of it all, saying, "Yeah, we don't like how the government is handling things. We see the good that these terrorist people have, like their aims are have reason, but the ways they're carrying out their aims are wrong." So it's just like a lot of conflict to like standpoints, I guess. But
it's like anyone with pure, like, there's very few people in the world that understand that they're the bad guys.
Yeah.
Any good villain thinks they're the good guy of the story. And you can tell they have that conviction. I thought it was getting a little ridiculous last week when she just blew up that building, but they kind of brought it back.
Yeah.
I do think it's a good way that they've handled it. As well as that, the whole plot thread of there are super soldier vials, that was like the whole focus of last week. and then Zemo just curb stomps all of them.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna do that. As soon as they hit the floor, I knew who.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I just
Yeah.
loved like the hesitation where he just looks at it and he says, "Is this what I think it is?" She doesn't even
Yeah.
answer. Like it was something different, but now he just says, "Yeah, I think it is."
Wait, no, that's an experimental cure to cancer. Oh, it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's a few conflict of character things that I want to address, and one of them is this is something that Jeremy Johns mentioned in his talk about it this week, which is where talking at the beginning, like with Zemo, and they're talking about the super serum and stuff, and they say Zemo says something like,
Oh, the super serum corrupts the people that have it, or
yes,
some garbage.
and they said, and what about Steve? And he says, like, yeah, touche, yeah, he's an exception. And you'd be like, but Civil War, like, was this still like, there is no exception. It's just they're all bad.
And a conversation
And,
back up against the wall. Hey everyone, we're back. We had a little software issue.
A little software issue. Nothing to worry about. We're all good, guys. We're still living within the podcast.
We're a small indie company still.
So,
yeah.
So
no,
to explain it, there's a guy named Craig. Don't worry about it. All right, so yeah.
Basically, we still live inside your earphones or AirPods or
we still live
phone
inside
speakers.
you.
Yeah.
Don't ask how we got inside your headphones.
Yeah, we just did. Sorry.
Anyway, we were talking about something.
Yeah, I remember now. So I mentioned Zemo, and then I mentioned John Walker, and the third conflict of character I was going to mention is whenever the big fight at the end, when John Walker's this is spoiler talk still, but John Walker's sidekick died, which is quite sad. Because
I forgot his name.
yeah, I don't know his name, but it was
so
quite
sad.
So sad. Anyway, like he dies, and Carly, like her whole point of like starting the fight and everything was because she wanted to kill Captain America, and at this moment of weakness where she accidentally kills his sidekick, she just hesitates and she runs away, and I thought that was kind of conflict of character just because she's showing like absolutely zero mercy to like everyone she's been fighting before, and then her whole intention here was literally to kill Captain America, and like in his moment of weakness, she just ran away because she like appeared guilty. But that's nitpicking anyway. I just thought.
I mean, in the last episode, she blew up a building with a person inside, then drove away.
Yeah, I know. And bear in mind, she's never spoken to any of these characters besides Sam before. She doesn't like. There's no like personal connection or anything, but whatever. It's well, maybe it just shows she's growing in character and she just wants to be more good. But yeah, well, we'll see where it goes. Yeah, there's a lot I want to talk about regarding the end of this episode anyway. But anything else you guys want to mention?
Well, there is that big part at the end.
Yeah, come to that. Anything else near the beginning or the middle?
I like the bits where Sam and Bucky can't like get any leads, and then Zemo was like, here, have some sweets. And they tell me everything. That was pretty good.
It was very Zemo. I think Zemo's best ability is just his way of words. He's just he gets in your mind, and he's just very persuasive. He'll make a very good salesman, Zemo.
He would. I also like the bit where Captain America decapitates that man in the street. That was pretty good.
That's what we're going to talk about at the end.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's what I was going to talk about now.
Oh yeah. No, by the end, I was just going to leave that to like the final thing we say when we talk. Winter Soldier, because it's the last scene.
Other significant thing. I forgot about that. John Walker off screen takes the super soldier serum.
Yeah.
Off screen. Yeah.
Between
one saw it coming.
I didn't. Yeah. No, it makes you think though. Like, was Steve Rogers actually a competent human being? Because like I assumed that a bunch of training went with this serum, but then you look at Walker and it's like he couldn't hold his own in a fight 5 minutes ago against the Condons. I nearly called them Amazonians. And then in the next scene, he's just cracking heads and just bend steel pipes, and it's like, and the shield as well. He's able to like actually throw the shield at more than one target now, and you wonder how much, like with Steve Trevor, was the serum.
Steve Trevor.
Trevor.
Amazons and Steve Trevor. Why am I thinking of Wonder Woman?
It's Jordan.
I was gonna say I recognize that name, but like, where's it from?
Steve Rogers.
I'm gonna put it down to the fact that the serum is something that's been improved and developed over decades.
Okay, sure.
Like, because also keep in mind that it also doesn't make you massive now. Like, remember when Steve first took it, he took like 20-25 minutes to actually like find his balance. To like, whenever he first got up like off the table, he was like falling. But that's also because he had like this newfound height.
And then he went on a 20-kilometer run to chase a Nazi.
yeah.
Let's not forget that.
yeah.
He had enough balance after to jump on a submarine and rip its door off.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just feel like these super soldiers are just insane. Yeah.
I don't understand why Falcon doesn't carry guns anymore. I really don't, because up until this show,
choice. Yeah.
Because up until this show, he just had like two, I don't know if they were Uzis or some kind of machine pistols.
Yeah.
I don't think they were Uzis, but they were something small and handheld. Small and handheld. Yeah, like guns, Jordan.
Anyone knows what it is?
Yeah, I wasn't paying that much attention. No, it's and he, what do you call it? He just kind of kicks people about now, and it's like, what would have been really handy in that scenario? Gun.
Yeah.
Or a shield.
Or a shield.
He's very. He just goes into extreme situations completely unarmed, like just wearing his like normal casual clothes.
Yeah, it's like you're not even sticking a gun in your belt. Because you're gonna do fist fight your way out of these super soldiers.
Well, who also goes into these fights unarmed?
Hey, Bucky! Oh, that was cool. When finding out that Bucky's arm can just like come off like that, I thought it was really cool. I
hope they do something more with that, because
I don't even know if they need to. It's just cool to see. Like, it's just interesting to see. I feel like what they could do with it is make him a new arm at some point, and that'll be cool.
Well, here's my thing though, because like Bucky's whole thing, like this episode as well, like it's how the episode opened, is how he doesn't want to be controlled anymore. He just wants to be his own person.
Yeah.
And so now the knowledge that this artificial arm that he thought was his just for himself, but it can still be controlled by other people. I can see that creating conflict for him, and I kind of hope they expand more on that, because I'd like to see more of that.
You're right. It would be really, really cool. I also like the whenever you put the arm on, you briefly get to see like how it fits on. And it's cool because it just reminds me of the vibranium, like Black Panther style. It's like the lights, like the detail on his shoulder, like right where you clip the arm on.
The Dora Milaje. The Dora Milaje.
That's it. It's such a cool name.
I've just been sitting here thinking in silence for like a minute trying to figure it out, and I got like,
I like how we all are sitting like at computers and like no one looked it up.
I could have googled it like at the start of the episode, but I just I didn't even.
But Bucky's arm, quite a cool thing.
And the Amazonians that came.
I like seeing the start. The Amazonians,
Steve Trevor.
It took me. I didn't even register my phrase. Auto-corrected it. It didn't even. You said Amazonians, and I was like, "Yep." No, I like the scene at the start where it shows the absolute notions of being the Winter Soldier was out of his head. You know, she said the words and he just cried. That's just a great scene with Sebastian Stan, by the way.
Yeah, no, very, very, very good. Yeah, definitely.
That's some good crying.
There's some good crying. Yeah.
Someone gave him an onion, and then they chopped it. They filmed
And
it.
then they chopped it going 17, freight car, homecoming,
Car.
balderdash, whatever else.
That scene did bring up a question for me that I kind of had in Civil War as well. I just kind of forgot about it. What's the timing on that? Like, how much space can you leave between each word for it to still register, or with his Winter Soldier brain?
I think it's more. I think it's more like if you have an Amazon Echo in the room and you say Alexa and tell it to do something, like it's going to. It's like that same kind of brain thing. It's even like saying stuff to someone that's like completely zoned out of conversation. Like they might hear words and then it's like what. Like they'll just the brain just has a way of like.
So if he's just talking with someone and they randomly say freight car, is his brain just going to go, whoop, Winter Soldier activated?
Probably, yeah.
Here's the
that
thing.
would suck.
In Winter, in what do you call it? In Civil War, he like Zemo starts saying the words. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, so I could be remembering wrong. But Zemo starts saying the words, and he starts freaking out like before he's finished.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like there was a more efficient way than giving you 20 different words you had to say to him. You know, you could have made the word something like, you know, like copper wire. And, you know, that's it.
Yeah.
Or just Alexa. Hey, Alexa, kill Howard Stark. Make it look like an accident.
Yeah. I mean, it's... Yeah, but those random words just make a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I will still nitpick. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen Spider-Man Homecoming. When are we going to see Spider-Man Freight Car?
Exactly.
When are we going to see Spider-Man 17? Or whatever the
Yeah.
Well, he's 17 in the movie, Jordan. I think.
That's true. Yeah, in Homecoming, he was.
He's probably 17 in the original Flame Wire movies. You know, that movie where he's played by a 30-year-old man.
Probably.
But anyways, do we want to kind of shuffle on to the end?
Yeah, we'll shuffle on to the end now.
Well, I had something else I wanted to bring up as well.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Fine.
The freaking... This was just one line that I just laughed at and then started questioning. Okay, so you brought up the sidekick, John Walker. What's his name?
Yeah.
Who gets his spine
Battlestar.
broken, I presume.
Yeah.
Battlestar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When him and John Walker are like, what was it, the airport or the train station or whatever, cafe.
Like a cafe or something, yeah.
Yeah. And John Walker asked, like, would you take the serum? You know, and stuff, and wouldn't you be worried about what it does to you? And Battlestar says, power just makes a person more themselves.
Yeah.
What? No one has ever said that. I refuse to believe it. That is not a saying.
Yeah, that is like the last thing people say.
like one of the most quotable things in the world is that power and money corrupt. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. And this guy's like, yo, more power, more real.
more power, more media love. It's like it's also I laughed at that too. I laughed at that because you had the scene like you had the scene earlier with like Zemo asked Sam the same question and he just like no hesitation. He's just like no, never. And then John Walker asks the exact same question to his sidekick and he just goes, hell yeah, no hesitation.
The duality of man.
Yeah.
It's true.
But yeah, like okay, whatever John Walker does, like whether he has become an absolute douchebag. I mean, he just beheaded the guy. Like he's no Steve Rogers, but
really,
it's kind of down to his sidekick. His sidekick saying, "Hell yeah." If he would have hesitated and said, "Oh, I don't know, like I don't know what it will do to me, like it will make me powerful," and then
Oh
John
man,
Walker,
they'll just make you more
Yeah.
yourself. Don't worry about it, dude.
yeah, then John Walker might have thought, "Oh, I might take it. I should probably
In-
wait till later." But John
In
Walker
fairness,
has,
though,
yeah.
like the only reference those guys have is Steve Rogers, and he turned out great.
Yeah.
So
And they wouldn't know everything we know about Steve Rogers because they haven't seen the movies.
no,
What
because
do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? The only reference those guys know? What
well,
about
I mean,
all the other
we've
terrorists?
no, well, we've seen the Winter Soldier. We've seen, what do you call the guys? That you know, there was the other Winter Soldiers at the end of Civil War, and Zemo just went and shot them in their sleep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like we've seen those. We've seen the fact that we've seen Red Skull. The only super soldier that hasn't turned out to be terrible is Steve Rogers.
Jordan.
Their knowledge is Steve Rogers and the Flag Smashers.
Yeah, I was just about to say Flag Smashers. Like,
Yeah, but those guys are terrorists for the cause that stole the CERN.
I was going to say as well,
Yeah,
they
Oh,
are
that's
thinking would
okay,
all be, oh,
fair.
well, Steve Rogers was a trained soldier just like we are. So we'll just turn out exactly like he did if we take it.
Yeah.
But also, it really makes you think about how it does change a person's character. Because if the Flag Smashers were initially terrorists, like, have they become like irreversible? Have they just become worse? Or I don't know. You wonder about how these people have changed, so, or if like if Carly is like so far gone, or like what's her amplified characteristic and stuff.
I think
Interesting.
I don't think it's actually amplifying any personality thing. I think it's literally physical. And they're making a big deal. I could be wrong. I mean, there's a lot to it otherwise, but I don't think they're actually gonna do that. I mean, Steve Rogers was Steve Rogers, pretty much from the first Avenger to Endgame.
Yeah.
And this is a refined version of that term, but obviously, again, it's different. That Nigel guy did it. He's dead, so we'll never know. Also, the Power Broker, he gets referenced again, but there's really nothing to say.
Yeah.
That we haven't said last week. Maybe it's John Krasinski. But yeah, I do like Walker just snapped and decapitated that guy in the street.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a very I feel like this is one of Marvel's most like least. It's not quite like Marvel tone. It is very. It could come back. It's like it's very gray area. Like it's very. It's like they things happen and it's like, yeah, this is something that might well happen. Like they're not shying away from the fact, like he could have not beheaded the guy, and then we could have been watching it thinking, oh, he just took the super serum and his friend died. He could have potentially just ran after all these guys and just slaughtered them all. Marvel are now like, yeah, he's gonna do that. Like and it suits the tone of the show.
Yeah,
So,
I think so. I think this is probably the most. As much as most of it was off screen, that's probably the most graphic thing that's been in a Marvel movie.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Apart from that scene in Iron Man 2 where that guy's in the suit and the top half of it spins around and the bottom half doesn't, and it's not graphic, but you know there's a guy in the suit.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like, oh, that guy's stage ruined.
Yeah, but what a great shot of just like that bit of blood at the bottom of the shield.
Yes, I was just thinking that. Like when you think
bring up another symbolism thing as well.
Yeah,
but you go ahead, Colm.
Yeah, like that. Just that. Whenever we keep mentioning this scene, like that's the one shot that just stays in your head. Is like John Walker holding the shield up with that bit of blood at the bottom, and it's just, yeah, the symbolism is just completely. And the thing that I find really interesting is the fact that they address this where it's like, if you did have these heroes in the real world and there was like America. It was like an American symbolism, and it's nearly like a presidency thing in a way, like the way you have to take on all this responsibility, and you're someone that people look towards as like a symbol, and you can like, it could end up in the completely wrong hands, and if it does, it can be like terrible, and it's just like, yeah.
Well, if you want to watch a show that goes over what would happen if superheroes existed in real life, watch The Boys on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
No, but my other thing of symbolism was now you guys probably caught this as well, because to me it seemed pretty obvious as well. But when he was hammering it away, at the decapitation, that was the exact same way. That the exact same thing happened in Civil War when Cap beat Tony down at the end.
Yeah.
Like almost to a T, the exact same shot. Which I thought was a nice little detail. I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And then as well as that, the irony of the person he killed, him having said earlier in the film, "Oh yeah, I used to be a Captain America fanboy."
That's what she said.
No, he said it. He said he was quite a big Captain America fan.
Yeah, no, he did. Yeah.
What I'm saying. That's what she said.
See, that doesn't work. That's not a good sexual innuendo.
Jordan, that's not. I can't put the laugh track on for that one, Jordan.
I'm just saying she said it. I'm not saying it was anything sexual. She said it.
No, he said.
Yeah, he said it.
But I'm saying that's also what she said.
Okay.
I'm gonna kick this guy from the server.
No. Did she also say that though? Did they both say it?
No.
No, but I'm saying someone else did.
Yeah, the guy that got killed, decapitated.
No, but she. Well, he did. He said it. I know, but I'm also saying, yeah, that's what she said.
How do I kick him?
Who's she?
Look, I can't say more that my lawyer present. I mean, solicitor. I live in Ireland. They're called solicitors.
Server mute. There it is.
Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah. To be honest, I didn't really. Civil War is something that I kind of didn't think about much. Like that scene where he like completely beats Iron Man. Like Steve could have so easily gone the wrong path, and Steve was pretty pissed off in Civil War, and he did really dig into Tony at the end. I think it's kind of an illustration of the potential being a super soldier can have on you. But yeah.
Am I actually muted?
No.
Okay, that's
okay. Yeah.
I was hovering over the button, and I was thinking, let's play nice for now. Colm made some good points. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, not for this to start a whole other tangent, because we should wrap up. On what side were both of you with Civil War?
Yeah, I was gonna mention this. I was Iron Man all the way. Yeah.
Oh, Iron Man. I don't even think there was sides to that movie. I think Iron Man was the villain definitively. I don't think they played that as a sides thing at all.
Well, no, but the fans did. That's why.
I was Team Iron Man.
Now that I've seen the movie, though, I'm like, no, Iron Man was just the bad guy.
Yeah, he was the villain in like the greater picture, you know.
Oh no, but even from a movie sound like or from a filmmaking standpoint, they shot the movie in such a way that it's not about sides, it's not about a vague thing. You have your heroes on a mission, and Iron Man was just out to stop them.
Yeah, you're completely right.
Well, that's just what I don't see it as a thing that I can have a side on, because I'm like, oh well, I feel like the movie told me. I feel like that was the point of the movie. It's probably the best Marvel film, in my opinion. Yeah, Winter Soldier.
You reckon?
I still prefer Winter Soldier, but it's very good. Yeah.
I hold it pretty high, and honestly, it's rated pretty low in terms of Marvel films. It's underrated, but I see why people dislike it. But you think?
I don't think it is. I've seen a lot of people rate it more highly than the first and definitely the second Avengers movie as well.
I agree.
An Avengers movie itself.
In terms of reviewers and avid film goers, but if you make a poll on Instagram, and a friend of mine does this, he makes polls, and he'll have tier lists, and he'll put up two movies and you vote them through, and then obviously there's two movies at the end. And the Marvel movies, all the team up movies beat every other movie. It came down to nearly in the end. It came down to Endgame and Infinity War. And Civil War was in third or fourth. So as much as reviewers and people that actually think about movies will go, oh no, this is great. It goes to show the general public, most people that sit and watch a Marvel movie just see spectacle more than anything.
Yeah,
Civil
well, I
War
think
is a
that's the
team-up
point.
movie, though. Like, it is an Avengers movie in all but name.
I think that's what Jordan said. So, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I hope so.
Oh wait,
I
no,
think it's
was
a
that
Captain
no?
America movie.
Really? No.
In every
I-
this is the thing. If it was an Avengers movie, I'd be like, oh, there's sides, and yeah, you could be on one or the other. There's no objective right here. And in the comic, it's like that. In the comic book,
Yeah.
it's two big sides.
I love that comic. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very balanced. But in the movie, I do think definitively Captain America is the good guy, and Iron Man is the bad guy.
I wholeheartedly agree there as well. But I would like to point out, you said team-up movie, not Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I did say that, Sam. I didn't even notice. Yeah, whatever.
No, I know. I do understand why like Cap would be portrayed as a hero and everything, but at the same time, even though in the long term of events and greater good and everything, he was probably on the right side. I'm Team Iron Man, and I'm Team Iron Man mainly just I love Iron Man for one, but also I think that Tony as a character, you could see from Tony's character perspective why he was the way he was, even if he was more wrong. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of
like he had a motivation, but he was a villain. In our world, if we had superheroes like the boys, or whatever, I would be Team Iron Man. So I think these guys should maybe be regulated or whatever. But in the larger context of the Marvel Universe, and especially after we've seen the fact they're like, this John Walker guy can be the new Captain America. No, I don't think the Marvel Universe government should be in control of these things because they're incompetent, and half of them were Hydra.
I was going to say as well that this is like the nice double-edged sword. This is why I like Civil War, both the comic and the movie, so much. It's because both sides, there's good points to both. Like John said, the regulation is definitely thing. But at the same time, I don't want governments to have complete control over these and tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Either.
It's all about balance at the end of the day. Yeah.
There's not really a perfect answer. I think.
I think to wrap this up, guys, how would you rate the? Let's say, how would you rate the team up movies? Like, will we all agree that Endgame is top tier?
No.
No. What would you say?
Endgame's great spectacle, but I don't. It's a tough watch for me, especially 3 hours. It's not.
In terms of a team up movie, it is Endgame because it has the most people in it.
Okay, well that's standard. But if you're so do we mean? I feel like best.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's hard to judge a lot of Marvel movies by not judging them by spectacles a lot of the time.
Yeah, especially the Avengers innate movies as well. Because I think Infinity War is a better movie.
Yeah.
But Endgame has better spectacle.
Yes.
Yeah. Like Endgame, when you were in the cinema watching it for the first time, you were just open mouthed. Like, this is incredible. Yeah. It's a movie. Like, I feel like Endgame for me is probably at the top, but I could watch a lot of other team up movies way more than I could watch Endgame. Endgame is like a first, in terms of first watches, Endgame is outweighs everything.
Well, for me personally, it's also I can't really watch Endgame on its own. What I did when I rewatched it a couple months ago, actually twice last year, but the most recent time, both times actually, I watched Infinity War first, and then I watched Endgame the next day.
No, I feel like that has to be done. Yeah, you can't really.
It's a two-parter.
Yes.
It just is.
Yes. But what would your top one be then, Jordan?
Just the Avengers movies, or any where they team up?
Team up, including Guardians and Civil War and everything.
Then Civil War.
Civil War.
I have a question for you. Team up. Does that include Thor Ragnarok?
I guess.
Because technically Thor teams up with Hulk.
Yeah, fair. If you want.
I mean, if you want to say that, but at the end of the day, then it's a fine line because most Marvel movies are team up. Iron Man 2 teams up with Nick Fury.
But Nick Fury doesn't have his own movie series.
Black Widow then.
Black Widow also doesn't have her own movies as of right now. She won't. She's dead. She's dead, Colm.
She'll have one. She'll have one movie.
Oh, I hope they cancel it.
Oh,
I don't. No, I know it's made. I'm joking. Okay. Let's very quickly on my end, just before we end. Avengers 2 is the worst. Avengers 1 is the second worst. Then I like the Guardians movies.
yeah.
And then I like what else?
I don't think the Guardians movies count, but I'm not going to get into it.
Oh, you said them a minute ago.
Yeah,
Ash.
I was going to count them, but they at the same time they're hard to compare.
The reason I wouldn't count them is because there's not a main character in Guardians movies. All of Guardians are the main characters.
Okay.
So who are they teaming up with from another series then?
I mean, okay, fine. Sure.
I'll not include it just because it's just kind of like different series of movies as well altogether. I feel like you can compare Avengers Endgame with Civil War, for example, like more than you can compare with Guardians.
Like I think the third Guardians will be a team up movie because it's going to have 4 in it. Just going to bring a new element to it. But what I mean is, like, if you take away a character from any of the Guardians movies, it's not going to be a Guardians movie. I think.
Yeah.
You know, like if Groot isn't there, like what?
Sure. But yeah. If
but also James Gunn did say that by Guardians 4 he wants a completely different cast, which I think is great. Great idea.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was just gonna say at the same time, like Thor is categorized as a Guardian of the Galaxy, like in the comics as well.
In the comics, we're talking about the movies.
Yeah,
I will not back down. I will not back down.
I rate the first Avengers pretty highly as well in my books.
I don't think it's very good.
No.
I think it's good just because it's first expected.
I think nostalgia clouds minds a bit. I think it's the jokes are all very corny, which is both good and bad. I think it's just kind of there's too many of them, which is why it turns bad.
The more Joss Whedon stuff I see, the less I like anything he's done.
The thing with the first Avengers movie, the first Avengers movie is also it's more of a comic book movie than any of the other ones, apart from maybe Endgame. But it's more like classic, like like I said, the humor is a lot more like comic book jokes, which works in comic books, but not so much in movies, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think Ultron's the weakest of the Avengers ones, though.
Yes, I agree.
I don't like it very much at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we think about?
Yeah, I think that's a good point to wrap up. Yeah.
As opposed to rambling on about which Avengers movies are good.
Yeah. We'll ramble about this after the podcast.
I'm gonna jump immediately.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks again, everyone, for listening as usual. And,
we'll be back next week for the next episode of Falcon Winter Soldier, of course.
Yeah. And probably other stuff too.
If something happens in Invincible that we can actually talk about without spoiling everything, we'll do that.
Yep.
Probably.
Would you still recommend the show after the latest episode, Jordan?
100%.
Okay, cool.
I think it's about as good as The Boys.
That's I agree. Yeah. It's worth checking out though, Sam. Even just the first episodes, just to get like the tone of everything.
You've held out this long. I think if Sam, you want to enjoy it, I think maybe just wait for the binge.
Like I said, I'm not getting Prime now, just so that my 1 month will go away and the show hasn't ended.
Yeah. No, do that. It might be. You might be in the bracket now. You'll get the last episodes of the season, but just hold out till the release because honestly, it's a long wait. You feel like more at the end of each, like more so than you would something like The Mandalorian or The Boys.
Yeah,
it is something I just want more of now, but you can't have it. But anyways, it's a good show.
We'll wrap it up here. Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. See you all soon.
Sam, where can people get in touch and bother us?
You're the social media person. We have an Instagram and an email.
Podcast of Solitude. The Podcast of Solitude on Instagram and podcastofsolitude@gmail.com. Please start sending things because so far I've used it to set up accounts. And that's it.
Yeah, if you have any suggestions what we should talk about, send us an email or Instagram.
You can pay us, and we don't get to do that until we're popular.
OnlyFans coming soon.
That is Sam's end of things.
Gladly.
And I ain't touching that. Oh gosh, I ain't touching that.
Wait, okay, now is a good place to end. Please end.
Please
end. I'm not putting the laugh track on for that one. Please end.
Next week's Sam's top 10 OnlyFans subscriptions. Okay.
All right. Well,
Oh,
goodbye.
bye.